What's up, super friends? Here we are with another unboxing slash figure review, and today it's going to be the DC Comics Designer Series Lee Bermejo Superman action figure. This figure comes in the typical DC Collectibles designer packaging, all white with a one solid color motif. On the top we got Lee's signature, on the side we have some of his artwork, and on the back we have some more of his artwork, specifically the artwork that this action figure is based off of. And it's a pretty close resemblance, if you ask me, to what Lee Bermejo has drawn in the first place. It's a great action figure all around, and I can't wait to open it for you in this video. And as quick as you can say, Bob's your uncle, Susan's your aunt, box over the shoulder, and the backing, and here's what you get. I suppose I should show you the artwork on the inside of the package this time too, because it's kinda cool actually. Yep, there's the inside of the package. Whoop. Twist ties. God bless twist ties. Twist ties. Thank God for twist ties. You get these two interchangeable hands right here. This looks like he's been squeezing grapes in that hand. And you get old Soupy. This figure is really cool for a lot of reasons, and we're going to go into it in this video. But yeah, that's the front of the figure. If we turn him around, that's the back of the figure. That cape is just all kinds of blowing in the wind. Hey, what's that? There appears to be some weird hairs that have gotten painted into the cape at the factory or something like that. That's definitely very strange. Oh no, don't freak out, Soups. It's not the end of the world. I know you want to make the world a better place, but this is just typical of DC Collectibles quality control. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's in the toilet. Now, if we could just take a moment to come in closer and look at this figure, just to admire the fine detail work that's gone into creating this. For one, you can see all of the lines and the wrinkles in the fabric over Superman's muscles. And that's not something that you get with a lot of other DC action figures, and it just looks really nice. I'm a big fan of that, and it's also accurate to Bermejo's artwork. So, you know, good job on them for managing to get that part right. The S on his chest is actually sculpted on there. It's not just painted, as you can see, which is another really nice additive. You got the shiny red on the matte yellow. If we can just take also a second to appreciate that really excellent looking head sculpt. I mean, that looks like Bermejo's work, while also looking like a very classic Superman, very classic generic Superman head sculpt. If you're a customizer, you can take this head, pop it off, and put it on many other 6 and 7 inch scale figures, and it will look just fabulous as well. If you're a customizer, this is basically the Superman head that you've been waiting for. At least it was for me. Also, the way they've handled the undies here, the outside undies, just lift the arms up, get them out of the way. You can see that it actually, the line for the articulation is actually right there at the outside undies, which is a really nice touch if you ask me. It just keeps things looking really neat and tidy. And then you've got the nice bright red boots. Now, the only thing I don't like about the design of this figure is the fact that I prefer to have the belt loops here, and Bermejo did draw Superman with the belt loops sometimes, and at other times didn't, and they chose to use artwork from where he didn't. And I'm also not a huge fan of the two different lines on the top of the boots, as you can see here, but it is accurate to Bermejo's artwork, so I can't really complain that much. Taking a look at Superman's back here, the cape only goes up that much, so I can't show you much more, but again, the coloring looks really nice. I'm so impressed with this action figure. All the fine wrinkling in the boots and in the fabric. And then the cape itself. It's all kinds of windblown. Not a super huge fan of this particular look for the cape, but it does match the overall figure in general. Now, things get a little bit wonky up here where you have a nice kind of cape line right here, and they didn't continue that. Like, it's, you know, it's just weird. Not a fan of this, which is actually why I swapped out the capes on a different Lee Bermejo Superman figure. I'll show you later on in the video, because this cape, as much as it looks cool, it's also kind of hideous in its own way. Now, articulation for this figure is going to be as follows. Head is on a ball joint. It can go 360 degrees. Not much in the way of looking up or down for flying. Down a little bit, but nothing really that special. Shoulders can go up about that far, but they can also go all the way around 360 degrees, and you have biceps that rotate 360. You have single jointed elbow, then you have a wrist that can swivel, and it's also on a hinge so he can, you know, try and reach down and touch his bicep or whatever. You've got no ab articulation, no waist articulation of anything to speak of. You've got the groin articulation here, which goes all the way out like that. And the legs can also go forward about that much, which is, I guess, all the way, isn't it? And they can also go back all the way. Again, not sure why you'd want to push them back that far, but it can do it. I just want to point out, when you put the legs all the way forward, they do open up. They don't go straight forward. They kind of, you know, like he's sitting on a carpet for story time, spread out a little bit. You've got some articulation here, halfway up the leg. Mine's really, really tight because it hasn't been moved yet. You've got your knee articulation, single jointed knee articulation, and then you've got all kinds of ankle articulation in that they're rocker ankles, and they also can go pretty far forward and pretty far backwards. Now, my only complaint about the ankle articulation is where they put the click points actually makes it fairly hard sometimes to stand Superman up because he's either too far. Oh, sure. Yep. As soon as I'm doing the figure review, look at that. Stands up. No problem. Makes me look like a dope. Don't you know I do a good enough job of making myself look like a dope Superman? And just a quick side-by-side with the Superman that I did custom. As you can see, I did swap out the cape. Oh, see, this is the problem I had with this one since day one. He's got a loose groin. And he just likes to stop it. He just likes to fall over. Stop it. You get the point. I swapped the cape and I swapped out the head because I used it for a different one. But still an overall excellent. You don't get to be in the video. Only you do. As I was saying, still an excellent figure in doodly. Let's put some other figures next to him as well for size comparison. To the left we have Wonder Woman, to the right we have Batman. I just figured it would be really cool to get a DC Comics Trinity shot because I like to try and get those in every Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman video. I'm a sucker for the Trinity, what can I say? Anyway, he looks sweet next to them. Also, we have on the left Green Lantern, on the right another Superman, so this is clearly what you're going to be looking at for size and scale for this action figure. You can see that this Superman figure actually has a head that is a little bit smaller than your typical 7-inch scale DC Direct / DC Collectibles figure, which is why it fits so well on a DC Universe Classics body. And as you can see, for size and scale comparison, it works out just fine, albeit the Bermejo Superman is just a little bit taller. Overall, I found myself very pleased with this figure and find that the only real thing that I have a qualm with is the cape itself. If you want to pose it on a flight stand like this, it's going to look fabulous. If you want to pose them on your shelf standing, the cape is going to look a little bit weird and out of place. If you find yourself on the fence about this Superman figure, well, I would say go ahead and pick him up because you can't go wrong with the face sculpt, with the sculpting of the fabric on his clothing, the molded S, and the overall visual appeal of this Superman figure. I say go ahead and pick him up while you still can before he gets too expensive in price. Anyhow, with that, I think I'm going to end the video because it's gone on long enough. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this action figure review unboxing. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful in any way, please take the time to leave a like on it and leave any comments you have down in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed this video as well and think you might like to see more videos like it end up in your inbox, well, just hit the red subscribe button, ding the bell, and you'll never miss a video. And I'll see you with the next one. Bye everybody, thanks for watching.